Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about 7 signs you're dealing with a sociopath. Now, of course, please understand this is not medical diagnostics. And if you need a medical diagnosis, certainly go speak with a doctor or a psychological professional who is schooled to be able to do that. This is for educational purposes only, and the benefit of trying to help maybe get a person to understand at another level the challenges as it relates to that process, and ultimately kind of look at things from a new perspective and kind of see if maybe you're dealing with somebody who might have some challenges in that way. And so the first thing for people to think about or look at is a sociopath will have no empathy. So the ability to care what another person thinks and feels, the ability to connect with emotions from another person without a personal benefit, is one sign of sociopathic behavior. These individuals are individuals who feel the need to gain from every connection they have, whether it's gain attention, affection, sexuality, money, a certain level of control and manipulation, a certain outcome. There always is a gain, and so really, in that way, there is no symbiotic nature to the relationship. Instead, what is had is a relationship that's very one-sided, a relationship that doesn't necessarily serve the greatest good, because the sociopathic individual is always getting ahead. Now, in a lot of cases, these individuals can mirror caring, can mirror having an emotional connection or reactive space, which is comforting for the moment until the pattern is figured out by the survivor or the victim. This is because manipulation is at the core of almost every communication approach by the individual who is, connected to the non-empathetic feelings. In other words, their goal in communication, be it flirtation, conversation, or anything else, is to get ahead. And so every communication with a sociopathic individual, or almost every, is mapped out with a goal in mind. So that means inflection of voice may be used. That means visual imaging of emotions can be used. In other words, they may cry or get angry or get frustrated or be thoughtful in the moment. And the idea is to get a certain emotional reaction from the target. And so that is where a person begins to feel they have a connection with another person, is their reactions, right, and their responses. So what then begins to happen is the charm and the learning of a person's patterns. People who are sociopathic tend to be extremely intelligent because they're thinking steps ahead of their intended victim or their intended target. And that means at the end of the day, that individual is kind of able to predict the patterns of behavior that their intended target has. And they'll use charm, or they'll use certain words, compliments, or word choices, patterns, to gain the emotional confidence of their intended victim. These individuals are very impulsive, and this may lead to violent outbursts, yelling, emotional abuse, and other forms of controlling behavior. Also can lead to physical crimes and other things. This is because the impulsive behavior is more based on getting the desired reaction or the desired result than it is the consequences of said result or the effects that it may have upon other people. The effects that it has on another person may often be a byproduct, but not necessarily something that the individual with sociopathy is concerned with, worried about, thinking about, or really connected to the process of. The next thing to consider is that they have hard relationships. Now, this can often be because again, a relationship begins with relating. And so, if there is no emotional connection, how can two people or more relate? And so, what happens is when a person is no longer useful, when a person is no longer beneficial to the goal that the sociopathic person may have, or the aspiration they may have, they are expended, which means this person might not have a lot of friends, or they might go through partners quickly, or they might give up on people who are often shocked or mortified or uncomfortable with how quickly relationships ended. The most common thing when dealing with these individuals is they kind of go, well, this person did this, so I had to end it. And there's no remorse, there's no regret in a lot of cases. This is because they also tend towards narcissism. Now, narcissism in itself is an emotional wound related to the linking of control and security. And so the sociopathic individual cares about their self-interest to an extreme degree, and they are basically creating a world that revolves around themselves. And often this leads to them maybe enjoying the discomfort of or the misfortune of other people if it benefits them. Now, they're not going out and sadistically looking for example, someone to suffer without reason. But if someone happens to fall down, or someone has a bad day, or someone has a lot of issues as it relates to, those types of challenges, it's not necessarily something that the sociopathic individual really cares about one way or the other. And it's not that they don't necessarily care, it's that if they're not going to benefit from the situation, then there's no reason for them to care at a deeper level. And so hopefully these things are useful to you. Again, this is just an overview of what to look for. If you're dealing with multiple of these types of behaviors in a friend, in a partner, in an individual that you're working with, or trying to develop a personal relationship with, it may be time for you to reevaluate the benefits and the negativity within that relationship, because at the end of the day, if you can't find some level of balance in that relationship, you will get burnt out, you will become emotionally hurt, and it may take you weeks, months, or even sometimes in extreme cases years to regain the trust that you lose in your own judgment when it comes to dealing with these individuals. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.